Hi, we are presenting today on the business strategy game where we play second in industry 2. We are Team A, a soulmate, and this shoe company's business managers are Chris Carpenter, Nelson Reams, Owusu Osei, and myself, Veronica Martin. We will be discussing our company's strategy, focusing primarily on our North American region, our overall net revenues, EPS, and stock price. We will also discuss the analysis and strategy of our closest competitor, Team B, and lessons learned. Our strategic vision is a soulmate is committed to bringing the highest quality and innovative styles for the world's soul. Every day we continue to strengthen our products and brand to improve our competitive position. A soulmate, the best match for you.
Hi, I'm Nelson, and I am here to talk about our business strategy going into year 11. So, we decided to go ahead and decide on our business strategy due to the diversity of the market climate as far as price, styling, purpose, and buyer demand. We figured we would lay out what our plan was for our business strategy. So we chose a focused differentiation strategy where we primarily were doing business in internet and wholesale markets. We focused on quality materials, and we made sure we priced our shoes for higher quality materials and styling features. We positioned ourselves for higher SQ and image ratings. And as you can see in the table, a lot of teams did something very similar to our strategy. So going into year 12, we were strategically a lot more aggressive and offensive. And we decided to increase our number of models and aggressively increase our SQ rating. In year 17, our strategy had broadened a little bit. We chose to broaden our differentiation by entering the private label market. And the primary reason for this was to try to be defensive against Team B, who was our main competitor at the time. We were focused on gaining and taking away some of the market share in private label through late entry. We competed mainly on price as a late entrant. However, once we entered, the demand for pairs became much lower than the pairs offered. So looking back, that may have been something that we should have taken a little bit more note to at the end of year 16. But we did gain 16.6% market share in year 16, taking away 4.7% of the market share from Team B, and we also maintained that 16.6% in year 17. Team B was the business strategy game winner. We were very close in competition with them. Our main assumptions about Team B were that they had enhanced styling features and used higher quality materials. And that was mostly based on what we knew about them, which was that they had low models and higher prices that competed with higher end brands like a Soulmate. Early entry into the private label is what they did based on their focused differentiation strategy, and they did well in the private label. Other competition was with Team I. They also started early in private label, and overall they were competitively priced in all segments.
Hi, I am Owusu presenting on the trends for our company. Looking at the trend analysis chart, we started off at 432,000, $646 in year 11. And by the end of year 17, our revenues increased to $1,582,271. This shows a 24% growth rate. We're able to achieve this upward trend by differentiating ourselves, maintaining quality, and increasing our SQ rating. We also invested in gaining a greater market share by brand advertising, celebrity endorsements, and internet marketing, as well as reducing our delivery time. These strategic decisions boosted our net revenues. As our net revenues also increased, we used it to repurchase outstanding stocks in order to increase our ROE. Toward the end, after we repurchased stocks, we used the remaining net revenue for celebrity endorsements. We also increased our EPS from $2.8 to $22.14. A higher EPS is a reflection of very strong earnings, therefore, a good investment prospectus. As our EPS increased year after year, we raised enough funds to purchase new equipment and expand our operations, which in turn increased our revenues and reduced our cost of production. For an example, in year 12, our labor cost was $9.64 per pair produced. As we developed cost reduction strategies, in year 16, our labor cost reduced to $8.42 per pair, while maintaining a higher EPS and revenue. This is what led to an exponential increase in our EPS. Also, looking at our stock price trend, as our profits increased and we exceeded investors' expectation year after year, our investors felt more confident in our strategy and our future growth. Hence, the demand for our stock price increased, leading to a higher stock price each year. Thank you.
Team B was our primary competitor by year 17. They had a broad differentiation strategy they were implementing. They sold shoes in internet, wholesale, and private label markets from the very beginning. Their biggest strengths and differentiation was that they maintained low models, high quality, and low cost and expenses due to their lower numbers of models. They were similar to us in that they offered high quality shoes with enhanced styling features and a higher TQM. They were early movers in the private label, which gave them a decent amount of the market share. However, they were primarily competing with Team G in that segment. They competed on price mostly, but Team G had more pairs in the market and ultimately held the most market share in that segment until Team A Soulmate, entered in year 16. The operations are reflected in the next slide. As you can see in the second table, their primary focus was in private label sales, and they maintained lower market shares in internet sales and wholesales. In the end, we had a much higher compound annual growth rate between year 11 and year 17 than Team B. We also had higher net revenues towards the end in year 17. However, ultimately, we believe that they were very effective competitors. They did a really good job of differentiating, especially in the private label segment, and we believe that that is ultimately how they beat us. They had enhanced styling features. They had higher TQM. They ended up having a much higher SQ rating. In the end, their SQ rating was a 9.5 and ours was a 8.1. We believe Team B was extremely effective in competing on differentiation, especially in the private label. Their ability to have a super high SQ rating of 9.5 compared to our 8.1 in year 17 was a win for them. They also, throughout the game, maintained low costs and expenses due to having low models of high quality, which worked out really well for them in the private label.
Our strategy for the next 3 years is to continue with our broad differentiation strategy to invest in high quality, a high number of models, and a high number of features in TQM. We plan on keeping our wholesale price 40% below our internet price. We plan on keeping our advertising up and continue our mail and rebates to appeal to our customers. We plan on adjusting our delivery time between 2 and 3 weeks, and we do not plan on offering any free shipping in the future. As referenced previously, we entered in the private label market pretty later on in the game, but we saw many benefits, ended up capturing about a little over 16% of the market share. In the years to come, we plan on focusing on the price and keeping our SQ rating at a 5-star quality. With this strategy, we can see our projections in the year 20 with our EPS showing up to be $37.94, our ROE at 81%, our stock price at $858, our credit rating at 8+, and our image rating at 100. Thank you.
Lessons learned regarding a winning strategy are ensuring the highest credit rating possible throughout the game and ultimately an A+ in last year. Purchasing outstanding stocks to increase return on equity is also beneficial using your ending revenues. Investing in quality and shoe materials and superior styles while managing low production costs and expenses will prove to be beneficial to retaining customers throughout the game. Lastly, do not be afraid to support your employees, opting for ethics training enforcement, incentive pay, and maintaining pay over the industry average. This improves rejection rates, productivity, and image ratings. We talked about our company's strategy, net revenues, earnings per share, and stock price from years 11 to 17. We also discussed Team B's analysis and approach, as well as the lessons we've learned. Overall, this BSG game taught us how to coordinate and factor in different working parts to make the company successful through year 17, with most importantly, teamwork.